Hey, welcome to the Way of Valor. Thanks for listening. I am your host, Angie Taylor, and it is an honor to be with you guys today. Today, I would love to talk about 3 ways to keep your kids growing during the summer. As we all know, the first week of summer is fantastic. We are very excited about summer and break and release of schedule, but usually about week 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky, kids start complaining. They're coming in, they're saying they're bored, you're frustrated because they're already too much screen time involved. And so I wanted to talk with you today about what you can do to effectively navigate your summer, and keep your kids growing during the summer and move away from the constant nagging and boredom. And so we give up screen time just to get a little peace and quiet. The number one thing you can do is create a schedule. One of the things that helps our kids anticipate what's next, that helps train them to not simply come to you every time they're bored and they need some entertainment, is creating a schedule so they know what is expected of them clearly, as well as when they can expect the next thing. I like schedules a lot, especially in the summer. Kids thrive when they have consistency and routine. It is wonderful to break out of schedule for a short reprieve, but the reality is what we consistently see in kids is behavior declines, uh, frustration, fighting, all of the things start happening when we're out of routine and out of schedule. It's why when we start coming back into school months in September, everybody's actually usually pretty excited to get going again because they understand, hey, schedule routine is actually really healthy for everybody. When you're creating a good schedule for your kids, create the schedule with them. What seems like an appropriate day? What does that look like? And by schedule, I don't mean we're saying at 10 o'clock, we are going here and doing this. It can be a very generic schedule that helps you all set the expectation for the summer. So I would look at a schedule from, hey, when you get up at whatever time you choose your family gets up, when you're getting up at 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, whatever time that's going to be from your family, you're going to do your morning routine. Maybe your morning routine consists of, hey, before you get going, you're going to take time to read a devotional. Maybe your family has a devotional together, or maybe your child has a devotional. It is completely okay to put that expectation on your child to do that. The reality is our kids rise to our expectation. So if we place no expectation, have no schedule for them, they have nothing to aim at. And that's when we get into trouble. And that's when we become responsible for their entertainment. And so creating a schedule that's really clear at, hey, at 8 a.m., you're going to get yourself up. First thing you're going to do is you're going to make your bed. Then you're going to go have your breakfast, do your devotion time and your quiet time. And then by 9 a.m., those things are done. I love a schedule that says you're going to have outdoor time. You don't even have to fill in the gap of what that means. You might be brainstorm with them different things that they can do in the outdoor time, but having different ideas. I love things like, if you can do chickens in your yard, take care of animals in your yard of any sort. Gardening is a fantastic summer activity for kids, and having kids be responsible for those kind of things. Anything that gets them outside very naturally, thinking about activity. What kind of physical activity is your child going to get? Do they have neighbors? Can they have playtime? Here's when we anticipate the playtime. I love those kind of schedules. When my kids were young, we always embedded in our summer schedule a library visit time. Back in the day, library visits and story time were really popular with my younger kids. Those kind of things help kids know what to expect. It gives you a little bit of break as a parent with some fun for your kids that you can feel really good about. As long as your library isn't switching to the drag queens doing story time, you are all golden. Um, But I love a schedule for the week. Maybe you say, hey, on Fridays we're doing a pool visit or a lake day or a field trip day. So your child can anticipate, hey, we may not be running every day and doing something every day, but we know that once or twice a week we're going to schedule something fun, family activity, something to get uh, myself out of it, and then brainstorm with your kid what's that going to be, what does that look like. I love the idea of scheduling creators time for your kids schedule. This is not going to be a time where you necessarily do here is what you're creating, but you may create, and this is what we did with our kids, is we just had big boxes with all kinds of craft supplies and things that they could do. And creators time was, I don't care what you choose to do at that time, but we want you creating something. You may be painting something, you may be building something, you may be doing something outside, but every day we're going to move into the creator space. What does that look like? Maybe your kid is creating a video, or maybe they're creating music, or maybe whatever that is what's your child's natural genius that you would love to have them work on over the summer. This is a great space for that. What are you naturally gifted at that we'd love you to develop on? Finally, if your kid is doing lots of screen times, like if they enjoy video games or YouTube, being very guided around, or Netflix or anything like that, being very guided around what is involved in that. It's something that I love is saying, hey, you can read books to earn screen time. So I'm going to put a dollar amount on screen time and a dollar amount on books. This is the stack of books you can read. We did a family book club, even with our adult kids. We did a family book club of, hey, we're going to read one book a month. I'm going to have you write a summary report and your thoughts on it. And then we're going to have a book club meeting about that. We even did that with our adult kids. And frankly, we'll pay you. But I actually was the one to choose the books that we were doing. We chose books that grew us intellectually, made us more self-aware, books that grew us spiritually, and set that out for the summer. I like the idea, especially as your kids are younger, for here are all the stacks of books you can read, especially getting them reading for enjoyment. If your school does map testing or gets them at their Lexile score, uh, linking them to websites where they can choose books that are reading at their level, because that will grow their reading exponentially. We know as educators that we have this massive slump that happens over the summer months, meaning your kid ends the school year at this reading level and they start the school year generally well below the reading at that level, because parents aren't asking their kids to read over the summer, and we know we lose a lot of learning ground. You can stop that flow with your kid just by encouraging reading on a daily basis, whether you set a time frame of here's how much you can read, or you simply, I like the idea of this book screen time is worth $10 for 10 minutes. This book is worth $10. This book is worth $20, and so forth. So they can actually read to earn their screen time. There are so many lessons being taught on this, and you're minimizing you having to say, no, no, you can't watch TV. No, you can't do this, because your new question is, oh, how much money did you put in your bank account through your reading? And if you have no money in your bank account, looks like you need to go do some reading. So those are the things that make a parent's life just a little bit easier on the reading front. The big thing is as you're going through the summer, have your kid included in asking this. The final thing is have a chore responsibility chart for your child. It is so important that your child is participating. We as a family had requirements of, you're just a member of this family, and as a member of this family we all do things to participate. So we have lots of chores in our home that Our kids were not paid to do those chores. You're a member who eats here, you sleep here, we provide roof over your head. So because of that, you're a contributing member of our little community in our home. I think that is so important for kids, that we not simply give them pay and wages for absolutely everything they do, because they start sitting back and asking, what's in it for me? And if there's not any benefit or motivation for me to do it, then I'm not doing it. And that's where laziness and entitlement start taking root in our kids' lives. Whereas if we say, because you're a member of this family, we do expect that you're going to have dish night. We do expect that you're going to have a night that you're helping with dinner, or you're setting the table. We do expect that you're taking care of the family dog. That's what you do as a contributing member of our family community. And we all do that to help one another's lives be better. We learn, make sure you have positioned your kid as, yes, they are somebody that gets to receive the benefits of living in your home, but they are somebody that contributes to others' benefits of living in your home. You are training your children for adulthood. And while it is so great, and I can't speak enough about creative play and how important that is in free time, how important that is in your child's life. It is, those are essential things in your child's life, but also chores and responsibilities are key requirements for helping your child be respectful, especially as they get into teen years. When our kids became teens, we did have, and they could earn income. We did expect that they were babysitting, they were getting jobs outside of our home. Those are phenomenal things to teach your child for responsibility. Plus, they start earning their own money. They start weighing what they spend their money on. This is how we teach them how to spend money. One of the things you see all the time is people are saying, "Oh, schools don't teach kids how to spend their money or how to deal with finances." A lot of schools don't. Valor does, but a lot of schools don't. But part of the reason for that is there is a level of expectation that parents are teaching their kids those kind of values. And so it's really important that as a parent, you're looking at your summer. Summer is such a beautiful time because your kids have more bandwidth, more space. Summer is a beautiful time to say, how are we coaching and training in those spaces? The final thing I'm going to say on this topic is boredom is not bad. Boredom is where creativity lives. Boredom is where your kids start expanding and thinking about the world around them. So your child being bored is not a bad thing. When your child comes and says they're bored, it is not your responsibility as a parent to alleviate their boredom. It's actually really tons of thought and studies related to this, that boredom has been the best space for thinking to actually take place. When your mind gets freed up of all its obligation, all its worry, all the things, it actually leaves room for you to start creating, for you to start thinking critically about things, for you to start being curious. Boredom often creates curiosity because you can only sit for so long without doing something. But the problem with our society as a whole, myself included, is when we have any moment of boredom or quietness, it's too easy to jump on a cell phone and fill that space. Unfortunately, if we're filling that space, we're not expanding our thinking, we're not expanding our curiosity, and we are moving ourselves into this fast food generation that wants instant gratification. Boredom actually expands our ability to wait. Boredom expands our ability to do the hard things. So this summer, as your child is saying, I'm bored, say, that's great. What can you do? And you may give your child options of, you can do A or you can do B. I would probably even incentivize your child for not coming to you and saying you're bored. That's not your job to fulfill, keep them entertained. Helping your child explore that boredom is actually a gift to us, that we can expand our horizons, expand what we're learning. finally, when they are using screen time, how are they using the screen time? Uh, Doing something like Minecraft, where they're creating, they're adding, they're in community, is going to be a more valuable thing than other options. What are they watching on YouTube? There's a lot of fantastic things that they can learn to do on YouTube. And there's a lot of just garbage that is mind numbing garbage that is stuffing culture into your kids in a way that is devastating to your kids. So, those are the things that I would definitely put parameters around. Hey, when we are having screen time, this is the what this is the kind of screen time we're doing, because there is a level of quality that can take place. The other thing when you're thinking about creating or anything is thinking through baking, thinking through cooking. How can your child help with dinner prep? Those are the kind of things that actually grow and mature our kids in just a beautiful way and gives them a sense of well-being. Insecurity comes when we are simply in a space of soaking in, soaking in, soaking in, but I'm adding no value into the world. Us saying, you're good, you're beautiful, you're this, but they're not contributing in a meaningful way, actually breeds insecurity and low self-esteem in our kids. It is when they do hard things, it is when they are adding their unique voice and value into the world that they build a confidence in who God created them to be. Summer is a prime time for us to be able to expand on that and deep dive on that. And it very much is a time for our families to draw close. I can tell you this. My family growing up didn't have a lot of money, but my family always went camping over the summer. Camping is very economical, and probably my favorite memories of growing up were camping with my family. They were very special times. So don't discount as a family what you can and can't do over camping. We've really let the sports industry and club sports, elite sports, all of the travel sports really take over our family time and our family space. And that's tragic. I think as a family, be guarded about that. Are your family values being well um, sought out over the summer months, or are they being destroyed by the things that your kid is participating in? I would be very guarded about that. Our son was in club sports, but we only allowed him to miss one Sunday a month to participate in his club sports, which meant we missed games sometime because we valued participating in our church community as a value for us. We wanted to make sure that we were honoring God in our family. So making sure those things those extracurriculars that you're putting your child in actually are helping you accomplish your vision, your value for your family. I think that's all it. We as a family are in the midst of a big move, hence the blank background. You're used to seeing me with a lot more going on in my background. Tomorrow, we move out of our house, we move south. We're building a family compound with our kids, which we're very, very excited about. I will tell you that that is a lot of work. We haven't found our forever property yet, so we're in the throes of doing all of that. But in the hard spaces, my focus has been on what's the outcome we're going for, what's our goal that we're going for, making sure we're moving towards that. So, as always, thank you for listening. I hope you have a blessed summer.